Good evening. It is Wednesday, the 6th of February, 2013. What's the meaning of life? To love God through Christ. That's it. Film over. All done. Ha! I've received the pearl beyond price. God has chosen me as his loyal servant. He's chosen to reveal himself through these 22 and a half years of my personal suffering, where I have, second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day, week by week, month by month, year by year, decade by decade, been a foot soldier, taking up my cross and choosing to follow him, to follow Christ, as he has led me in the darkness to where I am now, utterly without any other guide to my life than my love. I just feel it's like them pianists, they keep adjusting the bits until that's better, I think. Yeah. Anyway, it's good enough. Have to do it. One of the hallmarks that I know in my personal life that I am not happy, at peace, is that I cannot bake bread. So, for me, in my personal life, these things better. The smell of baking bread, the patter of little feet of the two-legged kind and four-legged, the sound of music, the sound of laughter. This I have not known. I can remember in the early days of my marriage, breaking up and the child and so on, some solicitor I did go to, have a nice weekend. Never do. Never have done since. Just doesn't happen. Doesn't exist in my personal life. It's just another day, by and large, which I have to get through somehow. No, I refuse to be a miserable, sad bunny. No, thank you, not interested. The world does not need to see a long, sad face. So, by and large, when I go out in the world, I put on a happy face. But inside, I'm still crying. Fortunately, I have a very strong, stable family background, and I'm just the way I am. I consider myself blessed. I've been taught by my former wife of things I would not have known in any other way. I would have gone on in my way thinking that, women were like my mother and stuff. And other girlfriends I'd had in the past. One in particular who wanted to marry me, Sally Louisa Clark, who was studying the Midrash on the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, the commentaries. They're called the Midrash, the first 5 books. People make commentaries, so words change in the usage, and if the Hebrew is pointed, and so on and so on and so on. She had to learn Hebrew, ancient and modern, Greek, Aramaic, Christ's language, Latin, and obviously English, just to get into these ancient texts. And God brought me to her as he did. Sally Louisa Clark with an E, who would have married me. But after many years together, at least 5, going 6 years together, we were living together and so on. So, my first girlfriend too, actually, that wasn't Sally. Anyway. Rentrons à nos moutons. À l'instant, je trouve que c'est mieux de parler en français. Bah alors, on tutoie Dieu. I like French. I like the sound of French. On the other hand, Sieg Heil, that. Raus. I just don't like the sound of German, but I do love Beethoven, so there we are. I've been to Bonn. So ramble, point of story, meaning of life, love God through Christ. No matter what life throws at you, and people have horrendous things. I remember this Palestinian woman I was talking to, a singer, very musical lady. And I'm afraid at least 2, I think in the end 3 of her husbands were killed in the business in the Middle East there, in Palestine, the Holy Land, Israel. And somehow she found the strength to go on. So my inclination is to say, I'm fine, and how are you? And I am fine. I relish the prospect of finally bringing into the open, into the light, same old candlestick, into the light, this. It's been my whole life. The reason I'm not, I don't know, at the top of my profession or something, in part, is because of this. I've just stuck at it to seek and find God's will for me. If he put this in my life and the English legal system stuffed me, well then, off I went, round the world. In particular, there was one time around Christmas, I rocked in from Canada, things hadn't worked out. I was looking in Canada when I still had money to buy a small place or whatever. Anywhere but England. Came back, what to do? Went off to Ireland for a fortnight. London, Heathrow, flew over there. Bleh. Flew out to Cape Town, South Africa, which is where I was born. I'm a white African. I tried before to work in the townships anyway. Didn't work out. So I then went to Armenia, which was the first country to adopt Christianity in the year 301. Yerevan is the capital. And I stayed by Lake Sevan, it's pronounced S-E-V-A-N, by, as it happens, a monastery on a lake for Armenian monks. And I had a chat with them, obviously, and so on, the abbot, whatever. Such is life. So that's been my life. Looked very seriously becoming a priest or a Benedictine monk, none of which I've done. Back in the days of my former wife and marriage and so on, I was a member of the British Astronomical Association, where I met and chatted with that super chap, Patrick Moore, who's now departed this mortal coil, and a member of the Royal Institution, founded by Faraday, in Albemarle Street in Mayfair in London, where you have to go in black tie in the evening lectures. They do the Christmas lectures from there still, where I actually took this former wife of mine on more than one occasion. Ha, ha, ha. But it's all my fault, because I'm a bad man. Whew. So there we are, ramble. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were known. Without him nothing that was known has been known. In him was life, and that life was the light of men. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not understood it. Amen.